That is the type of compete level I want to see from the Phillies. This type of game was really good to watch. Really entertaining game. The Phillies do salvage the final game of this 3-game set with the Atlanta Braves, win it by a score of 9-4. Aaron Nola on the mound was pretty solid until he was taken out of this ball game. That seventh inning was really a struggle for him, but throughout majority of the game, he was pretty solid and put this team in a position to win the ball game. And the offense finally decided to wake up, decided to produce some runs for their pitcher, given a nice, comfortable lead throughout this ball game. And yeah, there's really not much to say, but the Braves do try to make a comeback when Aaron Nola had that struggle in the seventh inning, but we do respond after the Braves almost make a comeback. We increase the lead and just put us in a better position to close out this ball game and salvage the final game of this series. And the Phillies, after this ball game, they're talking about they're still in this thing. They're confident that they can make a run going down the stretch. See it to believe it right now, because I don't know what the inconsistencies with this team. I have no idea right now. And just we haven't beat a series against a contending team that's over 500 since the end of May. So I have to see it to believe it before anything happens. And we do have an off day tomorrow. Then we have the series against the San Francisco Giants, who have been a pretty hot team lately. So, and also this series ties into the MLB trade deadline. So the Phillies are going to probably be, I would say tomorrow, since tomorrow's an off day, you might see a lot more moves from the Phillies, but who knows, we might see more moves as each day goes along. The bigger news today, after the Phillies ended, was, outside of the Phillies actually, was Marcus Stroman of the Toronto Blue Jays. He was traded to the New York Mets. So there goes a big name pitcher that was on the market, and he goes to a division rival. And at first it's kind of confusing on why he goes to the Mets, but that's another topic for another video. But as you know, a top pitcher goes to a division rival. So back to the Phillies at hand. They started off this game pretty hot. The offense got some run support for Aaron Nola, and I was at this ball game actually. So in the bottom of the first inning, Bryce Harper, 2 outs, first pitch thrown to him, hits a bomb into the right field stands. And as I wasn't in the ballpark at this time, I didn't get there till the top of the second inning. So I'm walking right down Philly's way as I hear Bryce Harper's music come up. So he's batting. Okay, Bryce Harper is batting. Then I hear the crack of the bat, and the crowd's cheering, going wild. Then I hear Harry Callis chant, "This ball is out of here." And I'm like, oh my God, I just missed a Bryce Harper home run. And I was kind of upset about that. But what are you going to do? You miss some, you lose some. What are you going to do about that? So the Phillies got a 1-0 lead after the first. Then we go to the bottom of the third inning, which should have been a bigger inning for the Phillies, but it starts off pretty nice. Adam Haseley gets a home run to dead center field, crushed the ball. And honestly, off the bat, it didn't look like it was going to go out. The center fielder looked like he might have had a play on the ball, but the ball just kept carrying and landed just over the fence in center field. So Adam Haseley gets his third home run on the season, and it's a 2-0 Phillies lead. But still in the bottom of the third inning, we do manage to get the bases loaded. Aaron Nola gets a single, Gene Segura gets a double, Bryce Harper is intentionally walked. So we have bases loaded, 1 out, Rhys Hoskins. He lines out. Could have been a hit. He hit it hard, hit the ball nice, but it just went right to the left fielder, to Adam Duvall actually. And then we have JT Realmuto with bases loaded and 2 outs. He flies out. So no opportunities there to score runs. Fail once again with the bases loaded. And you just hope that this doesn't come back to haunt you. And thankfully it does not as for now, because Aaron Nola is on the mound and he is dealing at this time. Pretty solid innings going on right there. Then we go to the bottom of the 5th inning for the Phillies. And we do get the bases loaded once again. Aaron Nola gets another single, Scott Kingery gets another single, Gene Segura gets a single. So we have bases loaded with no outs this time for Bryce Harper. Strikes out on 3 pitches. Then we get Rhys Hoskins. He pops out on a 3-0 count. So we're just thinking to yourselves, oh my God, here we go again. Bases loaded, we can't score once again. And JT Realmuto, his chance for redemption with the bases loaded. And you could have said the same thing for Rhys Hoskins because he had the bases loaded in the third, but he pops out. So this is JT Realmuto's chance for redemption. Draws the count to 3-2. And you'll always have these talks about JT Realmuto. He's been very underwhelming offensively this season. Hasn't been the same guy that we got from Miami offensively wise, because defensively he's probably one of his better seasons defensively. So just all the talks about him being very underwhelming offensively. But What does he do to redeem himself in this at bat? 3-2 count. Bomb into the left field stands for a grand slam, and the Phillies take a 6-0 lead at this point. And the crowd goes wild. It's a nice little redemption right there for JT Realmuto. Back home runs in back-to-back games, so hopefully maybe his bat's going to get hot again because we definitely need his bat going down the stretch. And 6-0 from this point, but then we get to the top of the 7th inning, and this is where we get the little struggle from Aaron Nola. Allows Josh Donaldson on a walk, Brian McCann gets a single, and then Ender Inciarte comes to the plate. He kind of draws he's fouling off some pitches, a 1-2 count, just getting a little bit into Nola's head. Really can't get the guy out, and what does he do? He hits a 3-run bomb into the right field stands to make it a 6-3 Phillies lead. But then the next pitch to Camargo, home run into the right field bleachers. So we're just looking at, the Braves are making that comeback. The Braves are not out of this ballgame. They are definitely not out of this ballgame at this point. And Aaron Nola just struggling through this inning the entire time. We have to take him out of the inning later. And then also, I think this is still when Aaron Nola's in the game. Or this is like right before. No, this is right before Aaron Nola comes out of the ballgame. So Ronald Acuna gets on with a single. And Ozzie Albies is up to bat. So Ronald Acuna tries to steal second base. JT Realmuto tries to get him out on a throw. And Acuna at this point is safe, but there's a bit of a collision at second base. And it looks like both players on the play, Segura and Acuna Jr., they both look like they're in a little bit of pain. Gene Segura gets up, both trainers from both benches come out, and Gene Segura gets up, he's being taken off the field and he's limping, he's hanging on to the trainer as he limps off the field, so a bit of a scary situation right there. But as the game went on, I scrolled through Twitter just to see what was wrong with Segura at that point, and it looks like, from what most people are saying, it's a right shin contusion, so it's basically just a black and blue, a bruise, a black and blue, so maybe just Segura needs a couple days of rest right now. We got the off day tomorrow, and who knows what Gabe Kapler's going to do on Tuesday when they play the Giants, if they sit Segura for a game, or maybe just give him another day of rest, or they let him play through it, or if he's better to play in the start of the series against the Giants. We don't know at this point, but right now it's a right shin contusion. And Ronald Acuna looked a little bit shaken up at that play too. He stayed in the game for that point, but I think he was taken out of this ball game later, and so we don't know. I really don't know the problem with Acuna Jr., but he did look a little banged up on that play as well. But we bring in Adam Morgan for the rest of the 7th inning. He manages to get that final out. But the important thing right here is, when the Braves start to make a comeback, the Phillies answer right back in the bottom of the 7th inning. Roman Quinn comes in because we have to do a little bit of a defensive shift. Roman Quinn goes to center field. Scott Kingery moves to shortstop. So Roman Quinn's now in the spot for Gene Segura in the lineup. He grounds out. Bryce Harper walks. Then Rhys Hoskins comes up. He's over 3 at this point on the day. He hits a bomb into the left field stands, which makes it a 8-4 Philadelphia Phillies lead. And that's a really big sign for Rhys Hoskins right there, because he really needs to wake up his bat, because, like I said, he's a very hot and cold player, but the cold has been a little bit more evident this season, so we really need his bat to wake up, and especially his power swing to wake up a little bit, to get some home runs on the stat line, the stat sheet, get something there for Rhys Hoskins. And this is also a little interesting fact after the ball game. This is the first ball game this season that Rhys Hoskins, Bryce Harper, and JT Realmuto have homered in the same game. So maybe that's a good sign. I have no idea at this point. And then Cesar Hernandez gets a double, Franco walks, and Adam Haseley gets an RBI single to make it a 9-4 ball game. Then we bring in Nick Pivetta for the 8th and the 9th inning. Gabe Kapler said last night he wanted to use Nick Pivetta if he got a chance in this ball game, and he did get his chance to use Nick Pivetta, and Nick Pivetta got through this ball game. He pitched the final 2 innings. He looked pretty decent, allowed a base runner, but nothing too drastic, but he managed to shut down the door, and the Phillies managed to win this ball game by a score of 9-4. Like I said, Aaron Nola's standpoint, he was pretty solid until that 7th inning. Goes 6 2/3, 7 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Brought in Morgan for that inning and a third, just gets out of that, and Pivetta pitches the last 2 innings. Stat lines from the rest of the lineup: Scott Kingery goes 1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts, not a good night for him. Gene Segura goes 3 for 2, and then he gets replaced by Roman Quinn when he gets injured. Bryce Harper goes 1 for 3 with that home run and 2 runs scored, also 2 walks. Rhys Hoskins goes 1 for 4 with that big home run. Realmuto goes 1 for 4 with that grand slam. Cesar Hernandez goes 2 for 4 on the day. Michael Franco goes 0 for 3 with a walk. Adam Haseley goes 4 for 2 with the home run to center field. And Nola at the batter's box, he goes 2 for 3 with a run scored. So pretty nice hitting day there for Nola. And just pretty much throughout the lineup, they got some type of offensive production, which is something good to see, hopefully. And like I said, we have the off day tomorrow, and we have the series coming up against the San Francisco Giants. That's going to be an important series right there. The Giants are in the heap of the wild card race like us, and they have been a pretty hot team lately. But they've also been in the ties with trade deadline rumors with Madison Bumgarner, but they also been saying that they're not going to trade Bumgarner at all. They're going to make a push for the wild card, just because a lot of teams are in this wild card race, just because the National League has a lot of teams that are underachieving. Teams like the Brewers, teams like the Colorado Rockies, teams like the Chicago Cubs. They're not as good as they should be. And the Cardinals, they have been a lot better team lately. They were underachieving the beginning of the season, but now they're starting to wake up. There's a lot of teams in this mix for the wild card, including the Phillies and the Nationals. So it's a big race right now, so this series coming up against the Giants is really important. Really not sure what to expect this week from this series against the Giants, because we haven't played them at all this year, so this is our first matchup of the season. So pretty bit of an interesting matchup right there. So who knows what's going to happen, and I want to know your thoughts about it. What are your thoughts about this ball game? What are your thoughts about Aaron Nola's performance, all the home runs we had today, because we had 4 in total. JT Realmuto's grand slam, Rhys Hoskins' home run, and Adam Haseley's bomb. So what are the thoughts on the rest of this game? What are your thoughts on the Gene Segura injury? And what are your thoughts going into this week's series against the Giants? And what are your thoughts going into the trade deadline? So don't forget to leave a comment, don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.